Hi Trader, Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. Before I continue, I want to say TGIF. Thank God today is Friday. The weekend is upon you. Applaud yourself. You made it through the entire week. So before I kick it off the recap of the overall markets, let me welcome you. If this is your very first time tuning into a ShortMeTina video, I'd like to say welcome. Do us a solid in the comment section. Drop us a comment. If you are returning, I'd like to say welcome back in the comment section. Do us a solid as well. Drop us a comment, say hi. You know I generally say hi back. So what happened today in the overall markets? Obviously, in my opinion, we're slightly up to flat on the day, going as high as, or rather, closing today at 298.05. That's, I see a quote here of 298.05. Today's high came in slightly under 299. I see a high of 298.76. So just kind of like, let's recap a little bit of what I've been talking about in terms of the SPY. So you see this range here again, since rate cuts were issued, we had a bit of a pullback, like let's say a 5 to 7% pullback. You can see it right here. And for the past 4 weeks or so, we can say from the ending of July, beginning of August to recently, the last 2-3 days, the market essentially has been trading within a range. I identified that range here. The lower end of that range clocks in at 281.72. The higher end at 294.24. I knew that a break above that range, and it looks like the market essentially would rally, and that's exactly what happened for the past 2 days. The minute we pushed above 294.24, the market has been on a quote-unquote mini tear. Granted, today there wasn't much in terms of volume, but yesterday we did trade at above average volume. So am I sold on this rally? Am I going to throw away my short? Absolutely not. I had my game plan set in well before the market clocked in this price action. And so for me, obviously trading above 294 and actually holding that, it is sort of tilting bullish for the market, and especially again being that we're not only trading above that higher end of this range, but we actually close for 2 consecutive days above that higher end of that range. That's actually a good thing. So what I'm going to be paying attention to right now would be, again, what I'd be paying attention to going forward would be all-time highs of around 302.23. So my eyes now really are set on that. Obviously, I'm going to still have the range in the back of my mind, but what I'm paying attention to is all-time highs. Can the market actually retest those levels, surpass it? And obviously, we need to remain above the upper end of this range for this rally to get underway, in my opinion. So that's kind of what I'm paying attention to with the SPY. Hope that makes sense. What else? And then we have the IWM. So while the SPY is slightly flat to up on the day, the IWM, in my opinion, is slightly down. Well, not in my opinion. It's actually factual. You can see it right here. We're off about 0.46% on the day. I see a quote here of 149.90. So you can see here a bit of sellers actually stepped in. And unlike the SPY that's actually breaking above that range since the rate cuts were issued, the IWM remains within its range. It remains within this box here that I've highlighted. And for me, it's consolidating towards the lower end of its overall 2-year range. Again, this is a daily chart dating back to 2017. So it's consolidating towards the lower end of this range, which usually would tell me that it seems as though the market wants to drift lower. The SPY consolidating and breaking out towards the upper end of its range, which tells me that the overall, well, the S&P 500 in particular, seems to want to break higher. So I'm getting conflicting data from the IWM and the SPY, and it's kind of hard to reconcile that. So we're going to see, but with the IWM, obviously, for things to look rosy or for it to catch up to the SPY, obviously it needs to, one, break out of this mini range that it's been trading in since we can say early August. So that means it needs to break above like that 153, 154 level for it to look the strongest. It needs to trade above 160. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to for the remainder of the third quarter, possibly entering the fourth quarter. What else? And so let me provide an update on gold daily chart. Similarly, off about 0.84% on the day. I see a close here of 141.94. So if the market continues to rally heading into next week, if we continue to trend up, then I suspect that gold will pull back some more, and you can see it doesn't reach support until it gets to around 135. So if you're long and it's contracting and you want to know how far it has to go, I would say obviously you want to pay attention to the overall markets, because if that's going up, chances are gold is going down, and I see support here of around 135. What else? And then there's silver. Update everyone on silver. Daily chart dating back to October of 2018. I'm just focusing on price action here right now. Off about 3%. I see a close here of 1687. You can see for the past 2 days, selling has actually came into this particular commodity, and of course that has a lot to do with the fact that the markets have actually been trending up some. So where do I see gold not gold, I always say that. Where do I see silver sort of ending up? Well, there is support here at around, or shorter term support of around, we can say $16. If it continues to contract, you can expect it to pull back to 16 before anything meaningful happens, in my opinion. What else? All right, and let me update everyone on the video that I did on ticker EDSA. It's off about 13% on the day. Again, this is a daily chart. Yesterday, I believe it was up around 45%. So let's go back to yesterday and exactly what I said in the video. Not exactly, I'll paraphrase. So stock ran as high as $7.90. Pulled back to close at $5.98. It was up about 45% on the day. I said, well, if you're long, looking to get long, wanting to know whether or not this is a stock you should jump in, you should pay attention to the pre-market and the open. I said if it opens below the close of $5.98, chances are you're going to have selling. If not, you'll have the rally. What happened today? We opened up below that $5.98 level. We opened up at $5.84. That should have been a signal that perhaps this stock is going to pull back some more, and that's exactly what happened today, with the stock shedding around 13% to close at $5.20. Now you want to know, well, is this the time to jump in? Same thing. Again, the market is a very dynamic sort of entity, so new data produces, in my opinion, oftentimes new opinions, right? So heading into Monday next week, what do you want to pay attention to? Obviously, is where it opens up. If it opens up below 520, we take out today's low of 505, chances are you're going to see the stock pull back at some point to the 4. So that's my take on ticker EDSA. What else? All right, I also did a video on ticker TNAV yesterday. And what did I say? Let me get you up to speed if you did not listen to that video that I did yesterday, and I encourage you to. It's right there, dated September 5th, 2019. Anyway, so yesterday, ticker TNAV, unlike ticker EDSA, it was actually down huge on the day. I believe it was down something like 40% or so. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it had a really big sell-off on the day. And I said, well, is the selling over? Well, when I said any stock that's off that much in one day is not a stock that you should want to hold. And I saw it in the intermediate and shorter term more downside. I did say that, you know, these types of stocks that have shed 40-50% in one day, they tend to have those dead cat bounces where they put up 5 to 10%. This was not, that didn't happen necessarily in this case. Granted, the stock is up, it's up about 1%, but I'm not quite sure if I'd really consider that a dead cat bounce. It might be. I mean, again, it is up slightly on the day. So what was the indicator that perhaps this might have had room to run? Well, again, paying attention to exactly what went on in pre-market and the open. So let's go back to yesterday. Where did we close? We closed at $5.79. Today, where did we open? We opened at $6.66. So that says there was a lot of buying up in pre-market. One as high as $6.70. So for me, the fact that that was the ceiling, so we opened at $6.66, but the ceiling was only $6.70, and the stock actually continued to pull back after that, that should have signaled, well, you know what, it seems like this rally is short-lived, which they generally are. They generally are short-lived if a stock sheds 40 or 50% or 30% in one day. So if you're on the sidelines, you're still long, you're looking to get long, what do you want to pay attention to? Same thing that we paid attention to yesterday. Remember, the markets are very dynamic. Not to be repetitive, but it is a dynamic entity, meaning it's just all over the place, right? New information perhaps can produce new opinions and new outcomes. So heading into Monday, heading into trading next week, we closed at $5.85 today. You want to pay attention to how the stock opens up. If we open up below $5.85, and I suspect that we will, if we open up below $5.85 and we take out today's low of $5.65, chances are, at minimum, you'll see this stock retest yesterday's low of, at minimum, $5.41. I suspect if we open up below 585, take out today's low, I suspect the stock will drift a little bit further, perhaps showing a print in the 4s. All right, that's my take on ticker TNAV. What else? All right, so let's do 2 more and then wrap it up. So let's start off with ticker ENDP daily chart, up about north of 50% on the day. So huge congrats to the bulls. I see a quote here of 349. We closed at 349. One as high as 351 with confirming volume. So it's really good that the stock actually closed relatively close to today's high. So will this rally continue? There's a possibility. What should you pay attention to? If you've been paying attention, you should know, right? Comment in the comment section. But I'll tell you right now, what you want to be paying attention to is exactly what goes on in pre-market on Monday and how the stock actually opens up. Now, if we open up if we open up above 349, take out today's high of 351, chances are I would not be surprised to see this stock run to around $4. However, if we open up below 349 and cannot get above that, you can expect more selling. So for me, the key is pay attention to what goes on in pre-market and exactly how the stock opens up. And so again, for ticker ENDP, if you want to know if it has that bullish tilt to it, I would think that it should take out 341 with volume and continue trending up. And that for me would be a positive sign for ticker ENDP. What else? All right, so let's wrap it up and round it out with ticker DOMO. So stock is off about 37% on the day. Huge sell-off with confirming volume. We see it here. Closed at $15.77. The low of the day clocked in at $15.68. You know what I always say if you are familiar with my videos. Anytime a stock closes close to the low of the day, chances are the selling will continue into the following trading day or the following trading week. So with ticker DOMO, being that I understand that we're off 37% and you may get your dead cat bounce where you're going to get 5 or 10% in one day. But for me, the overall trend will continue to descend. So I'm expecting heading into next week, I'm expecting ticker DOMO to actually have more of a sell-off. Granted, not to the tune of 37%. It may not be that high, but I think the selling is actually going to trickle in within the next few trading days within the shorter term. So don't be surprised to see a print in the 14, perhaps even in the 13s. All right, so that's my take on ticker DOMO. The key, before I go, the key would be to pay attention again to what the stock does in pre-market and actually how it opens up. If we open up below 1576, we take out today's low of 1568, chances are we're going to go down. And I suspect that looking at the close and looking at the volume that actually came in. All right, so that's my take on ticker DOMO. Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I'd like for you to do 3 things for me. 1, comment in the comment section. What do you think about my analysis? Are you in any of these trades, looking to get into any of these trades? Again, let me know. Comment in the comment section. That's the first thing too. I do videos on Monday through Friday. So if you want to be notified, ensure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. And lastly, my friend, I've been training for well over 15 years. So if you think you can learn anything from me, then head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com. Sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. Enjoy your weekend, TGIF. I will talk to you on Monday.